Happy Thursday!
Hey guys, it is Thursday again. Sometimes we do it on Thursday, sometimes Friday. We like to switch it up on you, keep you guessing. And we're 1 week away from Thanksgiving, so happy Turkey Day early. So we're gonna talk about people getting twisted. I messed up. I should have put that as the title. Okay, so not mentally twisted, but physically, because we work with the physical. All right, so we're going to talk about scenario where people come in, and especially so when people talk about what posture means to them. So people think, well, I have good posture. They think about just standing up straight, but we get a lot deeper into that and looking at the whole body and why people's bodies get off and imbalanced. So stand straight to the camera there, Kirsten. All right, you don't have to be standing up, but just kind of relax. There we go. Okay. So someone comes in and we see we're, again, looking at where their body's at. So not just to see where their symptoms at, but where their body's at and why things are where they are. So let's give you a for instance. So Kirsten, if you could turn your right foot out, perfect. And then what happens from that, a lot of times the shoulders rotate to the right, good. So someone comes in and they say maybe their left shoulder hurts, or could be the right, but and let's give another, it could be someone's like that, their right shoulder is down, their left shoulder is up. So now, or maybe they come in and say their right hip hurts. So we're gonna always look at, is their body square? And again, not just from standing up straight. So some people, turn that way for me. So some people get bent forward, what we think bad posture, we think of shoulders slumped and head forward maybe, right? So now we go, okay, well I can pull my shoulders back and my head back, but it's kind of hard. But it's kind of hard to get someone out of that big twist. So face the camera again, right over here. So again, someone's right foot is turned out, rotate again, there we go. So now someone comes in, they look like this, and we say, well, maybe it's because of this pattern you've got instead of just, well, let's look at that hip, because people come in and they've been to their doctors, their PTs, their massage therapists, and all different stuff, and all that is great. But if we're going to, again, look at the whole body as a unit all the time, we're going to look at not just what's happening with that hip, we can look at ranges of motion and all that kind of stuff, but we're not going to look at how the body is compensating and why it might be overworking a lot of times, not just underworking or get it working or, you know, stretch it out, those kind of things. But if we can look at, if we can change this position, get those shoulders more in line where they should be and get the whole torso where it should be, then a lot of times that hip will kind of let loose and let free of not having to work too hard for a lot of shoulder compensations. And it could have been, you know, from maybe this person's a golfer and they set up like that, so they set up down this way with one shoulder lower than the other. So maybe they get like this and then they're taking their backswing and then their foot's out all the time. But whatever it is, it could be an injury. Could have been you had injured this shoulder and now it's down, you never got full range of motion back. So now this one compensates going up and then that hip compensates turning that foot out. So all different things going back to, so when you think about injuries you had growing up, or it might not have even been something where you had something even broken, but just you slipped and fell, or you're jumping over a fence when you're a kid, going back to all those things that kind of build up over time. It just becomes those compensation patterns build up, and then it becomes now you're you know, grown up, now you're 30, 40, 50 years old, or we see a lot of older folks in here that now they come in and now they have a bad hip, dysfunctional hip, or degenerative. Now that's what they're going to focus on, and we're always going to look at where that posture is with their upper body too, to change. So just to kind of go back to, where's my pelvis?
You lost your
I
pelvis
lost
again.
my pelvis again.
Let me find it.
Kirsten, where's my pelvis? All right, here comes the pelvis. All right, so going back to gait mechanics, how you walk. So think about, you're going to be the demonstrator here. So think about, okay, how would you walk? If you're going to bring your right hip forward, go slow. So if you're going to bring your right hip forward, what comes forward? Also the opposite arm, and then go the other way. Good. So now think about if this hip can't work, so now it's going to impede on how much this arm can swing forward when this right hip goes back, and then the opposite way, when the right hip comes up and forward, the left arm has to go forward. So now if the shoulders end up being like that, now think about if you can't do the movement with your arms, so try to do that movement from there. It's gonna kind of look kind of funny, right?
Yes.
And it's probably gonna impede how that hip can work if your arms are off to the side doing that. So if we can start to even out the shoulders, get the shoulders more even to more symmetrical, and get some more of that movement that should happen, because those arms are counteracting the movement of your hips when you're walking. So again, you're gonna have, check out the pelvis, so you're gonna have this kind of motion going on in the pelvis, which is, as you walk, it's gonna have that movement of the knees going up and forward and legs coming behind you. And again, always think about when your legs are moving, you have, so demonstrate this from the side view, go that way. So think about that's happening as the arms go forward, the legs are coming, the hips are going back. So when this leg is go slow and stop, go one knee up. So if this, and take it like a walk back and forth for me. So, and stop right there. take a step. Good, stop, come back in the camera. Good, take one step forward and stop. Right there, perfect. So this hip is in flexion going forward, and then the opposite hip, you can see how her hip would be if you went straight down about there, and then her foot's behind that, her heel's behind that. So the hips need to be able to get that motion back and forth, front to back. So now again, if her shoulders are like that, coming in, so it's gonna go, try to swing your arms like that. So so go like that, and now try to swing your arms. Don't walk too far. Now move your legs too. So now do it to the camera. Take a big step back. So make your shoulders go off. So think about.
It's just awkward.
It's really awkward. Okay, there you go. Got some feedback now. So again, that's going to impede the shoulders able to move the hips forward, because we have massive momentum that's going to move us forward when we're walking. So we have muscular effort, but then if you take a step forward, there's going to be momentum that's driving you forward also. So when, again, the shoulders impede how they are and where they're moving and how they can move, that's going to impede how the hips can move and in what motion and what direction they can move. So just to give you a little insight of, again, when people think about what is my posture and what does that mean, or we're not just always looking about slump shoulders or your head forward, all those kind of things what people normally think of. But again, where's your whole body at? How does that relate to how your body moves? And then a lot of people come in with pain symptoms, so how we kind of get that blueprint of where their body is back to where it should be, away from any deviations they might have, and back to how we should be moving. Sound good, Kirsten?
Sounds great.
All right, anything you want to add there?
No, I think you covered it all.
Okay, anything from maybe your experiences working with us so far, or?
Definitely see this a lot, and it explains, of course, the chain reaction that we see there. Of course, if your feet aren't moving the way they should be, it's usually the upper body and the pelvis positioning. So it's so important to understand that as a client as well.
Cool, awesome. So feel free to share this to your friends and comment below if you got any questions. Maybe if you have some imbalance like that you have. If you want to if you haven't worked with us, or maybe you have, but you're kind of wondering where you're at these days, take a look in the mirror, see maybe is one shoulder higher than the other. Sometimes you can see like one hip forward in the mirror. So take a look at yourself, see where you're at, and comment if you got any questions or want to share kind of what's going on with you guys. All right. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.
Bye.